Yes. Hey, how you doing? This is Sylvia, Lydia, Morelos. I am at FedEx off of Sunset Boulevard on not too far from. That's me. And shout out to Bobby. I love you, Bobby. I am at FedEx Boulevard. Not too. I mean, I am at too far from the Laugh Factory. The Fairfax and Sunset. Been here for a while. I've been trying to myself. I miss my brother. I'm dealing with homelessness right now. Look what happened to my hair. This shout out to Bobby, all the gray hair that I have. I back online. I have a phone. I just received a phone. Call me, and it's a little phone, so I've got a phone number finally. I bought um, a little speaker, mini speaker, earlier, and I'm hoping that he'll get in touch with me because I love him very much. I know what you people did earlier today. I don't appreciate it. It's been a very exhausting day. My brother and I love my brother very much, Robert Bobby. He's not involved in this. Shout out to Mr. Johnny Depp. Um, and the perps confuse me a lot because perps confuse me a lot when I'm really tired, and it's called mental abuse and torture. And I have been experiencing it a lot, and 24/7 slavery, torture. Um, they control the mobility of my limbs 24/7, and it's the Trump administration as well, Obama, the Hillary Clinton, and Rand Paul, and they're fascists, and the Trump administration, screw them. And I'm sick of it. It's very, very painful. Um, so I shout out to Target. I like Target. So I requested an honorable discharge from the military and Navy. That's for my brother as well. I think I'm done, and I'm not trying to desert or desertion. It's just I don't feel you know capable, and I'm in a lot of physical pain. And I miss my brother. He needs me, and they've been trying to keep us apart and just wrench us to death. And they did the same thing with Jesse, and they separated him from me and him, and they got to him and butchered him, San Dimas, I think. And I'm done 24/7. I can't do it, and I put in a request. And I love serving my country, active military, and people can see what's going on with these Ozarks and perps, ISIS, NSA, ISIS, all the perpetrators under the Trump administration. I requested an economic embargo from the outside world. And a shout out to the outside world. It was great. And I don't know. I think the human rights abuses here in the United States have been severe. And I encouraged the outside world to take a look at it as well. And I requested it. And it's been brutal. And they heard us, I think. And I'm really happy about it because it's been difficult dealing with the human rights abuses when you haven't done anything, and they torture the shit out of us. And my brother's military man, he's a wonderful hero and a beautiful person, and I love him very much. And I only wish for his own security and his well being, and 24/7. And I'm very close to him, so when they do stuff like that, I take it to heart. And they've tried to separate us in the past. And it's been brutal. I don't want him hurting. I don't want him hurting even a little bit. And I feel very close to him. And I love him very much. He's my fraternal twin, and happy belated birthday to my brother Bobby in Sequel Land. And I'm spending the night around here and outside at West Hollywood. And it was West Hollywood for that factory. And I've got my phone. Let's see, and I'm wearing his shirt. like he wears, and I'm very happy about that. And oh, my hair! I went through a hate crime in San Francisco, California, and the Bobby, and I'm wearing a shirt. That was such a excuse me. That was see that was it was such a rewarding day when I received the shirt, and I was wearing on top of my Minnie Mouse shirt, and that's me. And Bobby too. Yeah, I love the shirt. That's my hair now. That's what it looks like now. It's really short, and we're Legion, and more power to my troops and my unit in California. Um, doing well, I believe, right? And it's been a difficult day, and I miss Bobby. I don't want to lose Bobby, and so I'm out here. I'm out here. My hair is really short. I have gray hair. You know, I don't know. I've got some earphones. I thought they were earphones. Not too savvy. It's actually a Bluetooth. It's Bobby, and found out that it was not an earphone. It's actually Bluetooth. I've never used the Bluetooth before, so yeah. And a shout out to Bobby. Thank you to the volunteers this week, which is great. So I'm suffering homelessness because I've been displaced from my home before. It's because of everything we are and what we represent, and Mexican Jew, political party. How's my hair look? So I went through a hate crime in San Francisco, California, and my brother's gonna be pissed, and I apologize for that. And I was in San Francisco, California, and I went through a hate crime, and they set my hair on fire. I haven't spoken about that. I've been meaning to write to the Daily Bruin at UCLA, but they've been getting in my way, and the technology hurts, and the hate crime happened on Cesar Chavez Day, and it was under any circumstances. That's for Bobby. The Navy. I request that he not be destitute in any way, shape, or form, hungry or starving or lacking anything. I want to take care of him. I've been working hard, and anything that pertains to me is his, and all inclusive. Under no circumstances should that change at all. And I love him very much. We lost Jesse. I'm not going to lose him, and it's not my own volition. And I adore him. I'm not even an issue, and I don't like what happened today. And I'm of sound mind and body, and it's just the torture has been brutal. Look at our hands. So the lice, they threw lice in my hair after that. So that's why I had to cut my hair. I went to Del Amo, and I heard them say that they did it the same thing to Dr. Martin Luther King in 1968. They set my hair on fire and threw lice in my hair afterwards. So I ended up in a psych ward in Del Amo from the Resnick. They just were random bastards and sent me all the way to Torrance, and pure hell. And I was sitting right in front of Poltergeist's little girl, Heather O'Rourke. Her mother was standing right in front of me. I was like, looking she looks just like her. And I'm sitting there, she was like an MSW or a case manager or a therapist, and she gave up and she gave a little session. And looking at, she was looking right at me. I heard her say, and it said, "You look just like your mother, Sergeant Lieutenant Sylvia Leticia Garcia, date of birth 10/29/56. Looks like her mom was there in Del Amo, in Torrance, a long time ago, and she looks just like her." And I was there, and it was one of the vilest places I've ever been, and that's saying a lot because I've been to several psych wards and to recuperate. And Heather O'Rourke had issues with these people there. That horrible, horrid paintings on the wall. the actual poltergeist tree. I'm sitting there watching in the patio, and like there's a tree on poltergeist. Like by the kid's bedroom, and they're looking outside the tree. That's a real tree. And I look down at the grass, and there's crop circles on the ground. That I see dead people. It's right by the gazebo, and they made the movie, Fifth Sense, The Sixth Sense, and out of that, it's pretty horrifying. And they ended up stealing my blanket, a pink blanket. I'm at Starbucks. They ended up stealing my pink blanket, a brand new blanket, and my blue coat, a blue Dickies coat that someone gave it to me in Sacramento, and they stole it directly out of my bag belongings and kept it there at the Delano Behavioral Health. I was freezing my ass off. I didn't even bother arguing with them. I just walked away afterwards and came back down to Los Angeles. And I know I wanted to speak about the incident and Bobby, and I love him very much. I'm always worried about him. It's like in the back of my mind. Just like, it's not nothing nagging, but it's just second nature, And these people want to bring us down for doing and our family down, and anything to break family and community apart. What's the fabric of our country, family, community, family, community, and God, family, community. And my brother's everything to me. So of the community watch, Navy, appreciated that he's my concern. I don't want the same thing happening to him that happened to Jesse. People, and they just wanted to pull us apart and just break us apart. And Jesse was looking for me, and he's very noble. So is Bobby. They're very noble, and I love him very much. Very much. And he's all I have. I like my other half. There's been a lot to think about. I'm like, we just turned 43, so happy belated birthday, boy. And in April, and he is I think I remind him a lot of our mom, so he's very close to me, and he doesn't want to let that go either. I remind him a lot of our mom. And one of the things that I did notice is that I believe that our mom and our grandmother wanted me to be there for him. I came to the realization when I realized that I'm of sound mind and health, and I'm like, you know what? They wanted me here for him, and in the end. And Bobby, I heard you, and then I go and see the Superman movie, and and they wanted us together, and they wanted me to be here for him. So I'm like the epitome of my mom and my grandmother. You just don't want to let that go, and I've been very patient because I'm thinking he might be going through a lot, and I'm very conscientious, and I'm near him, and I don't want him destitute or hurting or broken, or we're Reagan. We don't deserve that. And hungry and surrounded by people who hate him all the time. There was a one part, and that's they've given so that he won't go through that. And I that's family. That's what you do for let that go. And it's interesting because I was so used to being alone. I lost Jesse, and I didn't realize that Bobby was around. And, I got used to it, and I miss him when I don't sense him around. And it hurts like hell, and it's been a very difficult year. And one of the things that these people were saying to me to kick me around, I was trying to wash my hair, my face, get some stuff off at UCLA when I got there. And thank you for UCLA, very, very beautiful community, and on UCLA campus, it's like a place of respite for us. So I'm an alumna from there as well. The civil rights violations are something that UCLA does not. He's helping over, it's a great, wonderful place for him to be. I have too. And he's a beautiful man, a beautiful person, and very honored to be related to him. Like, I admire him and I have the utmost respect for him. And I don't think I've ever said that, but like, Bobby, don't hurt my brother, don't hurt my brother, or else. I'd give my life for him, and I, take a bullet for him any day. I'm like, any day. Happy birthday, Mr. President. That's kind of ironic, really. Yeah. And he wants to believe he has political aspirations of presidency of the White House in the future. I don't. But I'm good at a backup and NGOs and things like that. Fighting the bad guys and protecting him. And he's a quality human being. He's a quality man. And I needed to reiterate that and underscore that. So these detractors who hate us for who we are and what we have forever, you need to understand that you're not going to make me hate him. You've tried on more than one occasion to turn me against him. I almost got caught up with that because I was so exhausted and in a lot of physical pain. And it irks you that we're happy, and it irks you that we pursue and keep trying to be a family. And they've made my life a freaking nightmare. And I apologize to Bobby because I don't normally cuss a lot when I'm not surrounded by these perps. I think it's a way of an outlet, and it's funny. It's a way to express myself. But I know that Bobby, I've heard good things about him. I've heard he's respectable and classy, and he carries himself very well. And beautiful person, shy, reserved, and he's a good person. He's very funny, and he's a very caring, noble human being. And um, be wary because hell has no fury when it comes to family, and they've taken everything from us. And I've lost two kids, two pops, one I was 20, one was at 2009, and Bobby's has his losses, and my brother had his losses. And we don't want to lose each other. We're all we have, like the Reagans. And I love it. I was so happy when I saw the shirt, and I'd give him this one. I think you'll probably like the earphones, and my hair Bobby doesn't mind my hair. So I love him, and it's very personal to me. Anything he goes through, and they took my glasses a few years ago. I couldn't see very well after that. I'm like, they're gonna take them again. It's like displacement, or they deplete my resources by forcing me to purchase stuff again, stuff that they've stolen. And I decided against the glasses because it's like I haven't worn glasses in over almost 3 years. I need them, so I can't always see long distance. And I don't know, the hate crime that we went through up there. One person told me down here, Mahesh Patel, I heard him, and I say, how does it feel like kike to be hated because you're a kike? And I had already to be hated so much because you're a kike. And I was in the women's restroom at UCLA, and I heard him, with NSA, and he's not supposed to be on campus, and he's not a student there, or wasn't a student there. And I graduated in 2003 from there. I am an alumna from there. And what does it feel like to be hated so much because you're a kike? And I was trying to wash up my hair a little bit, or my hands, and I just come from San Francisco, so I was thinking about that, and it's like it didn't hurt, but it's like I was in awe about being treated a certain way because I'm a Mexican Jew, Reagan, and you hate so much, and the hatred's real when it comes to the anti-Semitism. And I'd already been through the ringer with the hate crime, the flames, and the lice. This would be Dr. King or Martin Luther King. Hated so much because of your kike. They set me on fire. I mean, when I was in San Francisco on Sunset Blvd Day, it turned midnight. Sunset Blvd Day. We're celebrating Sunset Blvd holiday, and Glide is very racist. So I all of a sudden I didn't have a bed to stay in because I didn't get there on time. I got in the way. The first night of that several weeks that I was there, I had to be homeless and on the street, and it was Sunset Blvd Day. And I remember I was supposed to be getting my disability that day, and around the around 1:30 or 2, um, illegal aliens were across the street, and I was very angry about it to prevent me from going back to the bus bench that I was at across the street. And I was at the Bank of America and to see if I had my direct deposit yet. And I turned around, they covered the entire um, stop across the street, and I went to the opposite bus stop, and right, right across the way from Bank of America. And there were several people there. There was an older man and an Asian female, and I was sitting on there, and Albert Nunez Cisneros. I saw who it looked like. Who it looked like, and there were four black, almost like they're probably minors. And to make a long story short, they began threatening me with cigarette lighters, two of them, and the female wouldn't stop doing it. And I noticed, if I go one way, they'll gang up on me somewhere. And I was thinking to myself, or if I go the other way, they'll gang up on me from there. And so I didn't move, and I couldn't tell if they were minors or not too well because I had my glasses on. And she was just belligerent, and she ended up calling me a bitch. And I said stop, and she called me a bitch again. And they started doing with the cigarette lighter. One of them on the bench, and the other one next to me. They did the same thing, and I'm looking right at her, and I was in shock, because she lit a paper, literally lit a lined paper on fire, and then she threw it at me, lit paper on fire, and it fell to the floor, so it didn't have the effect that she wanted. And I was just staring at her, and I'm like, holy shit. I'm thinking, in this day and age, I'm like, wow. And then she just came out swinging, and she just came out swinging and battering and swinging and battering, and heavyset girl. And I was thinking, they called me a beaner, and they kept beating me, and two of them, a beaner, and they said, and then they yanked my earring from one of my ears, a loop earring, and I finally fell to the floor. And one of the things that came to my mind was Robert Deniket and not Robert Deniket, the truck driver beating, and they looked like they're surrounding me like they did the truck driver, and they just kept beating me, and I finally fell to the floor because my knee gave way. It gave in, and I fell to the floor. And then the other perp comes in from the opposite right side, and he swung at me, or he swung at me in the back, and he dropped all the contents of my bag into the street, including my blanket, and he lit my blanket on fire. Then he bailed, and she just continued to batter me. I was so in shock about what they were doing in this day and age that I tried to fight them or lift my hands up, and I was just protecting myself. And I'm not even gonna, wow. And they followed me a little bit towards away from the bus stop, and they kept. I fell to the floor when I had my back turned. She lit my hair on fire twice, so it caught fire. And then I went back over to the bus stop, and none of them did anything. Not one person did anything. And then I noticed that there was a male standing in front of the mall. He looked like a security guard wearing a yellow jacket, and he didn't do anything either. And the cars kept passing by, and there was a lot of people, and they did nothing. And they knew that I didn't have a phone on me. I couldn't call 911. And eventually, I waited at the bus stop most of the morning, and I went over to Glide, and I heard them using the NSA, but then they called me Kike, Beaner, Kike, and they kept on doing it. They kept on 330 Ellis Glide off of Taylor and Ellis, and my leg was hurting. They really kicked me, and I was on the computer. I went onto Tumblr, and I typed it all up, and I can't let this go. This is heinous. It's just horrifying. And and they were calling me a beaner when they lit me on fire as well. And I eventually went over to get myself checked, and then I eventually went over to the police station and reported it. They took pictures. I went over to the clinic, Dignity Health, and they put it in. And I had a contusion, so they put my leg in a wrap. It wasn't broken. and we took pictures, but I forgot to show them this. There was like two marks, one here and one here, and there's two. They were etched, both of them, and then I had an upside down arrow etched in my head. They etched an upside down arrow on my forehead. And when I went over to the computer lab the following day, I'm in worse condition than I realized. I hadn't gone to the police station. I was trying to calm myself down, but it was etched like a scratch. It was scratched here, here, and here. I'm thinking it's a week before Good Friday, March 31st. It's the Cesar Chavez Day, and it's also the last day of Women's History Month. And I was really overwhelmed, and it got worse when I got back. Like some of the perps were down here, and I realized that the church it looked like satanic on attack. And I found that arrow in the church, believe it or not, down here on Westwood in Santa Monica, a block or two away from Jack in the Box. And I was thinking a while back, that church is going to turn into something real soon, because the Christmas lights are up, and it looks too much like a anti-homophobic. And then I saw the upside down arrow on the church, and 666 evil. I don't know if people have seen my Facebook page. I took a picture. It has something's etched on 666 evil TV. That's the church I was talking about. And you're gonna say they thought about doing it again. It came out to me like looking like the girl, and she almost definitely, and came back over to Westwood, and it gave me a difficult time. And it got worse. Put lice in my hair afterwards down in Westwood somewhere, and it could have been David Griffith, sure, but I didn't caught it as well, so I'm staying away from him. He's loitering on level 1 by Wolfgang Puck. I'm not getting the product or something happened, and it's too much, and I'm thinking when I stalking heard my hotel had a really hard against not battery, but like because and it was your called them a phone call, and I left over to the emergency room, and I ended up in Del Amo. Oh my God, not too long from that. They haven't stolen anything from me in any psych ward, and I didn't want my brother to worry, but I'm worried about it all the time, and they've done because of who we are and what we represent, and how does it feel to be hated so much because you're a kike? So anyway, happy later, and then I need let's fuck away from him. I love my brother. We're Ronald there, and I think there's only two. Don't hurt and stuff. You butchered them. They butchered them. Responded. They care, and I'm really happy about that. Government got. I don't know what corrupt government still happen, and that's why it's in Westwood, pro-minority, pro-Catholic, pro-Jews. San Diego, it's the same way. A couple of days it'll be Cinco de Mayo. In a couple of days, and it'll be the 14th of May, Mother's Day. Here on the 31st, they murdered for a good person at MHC South. He added perps that came full circle. They haven't caught them yet, and they go back. Nickelback, Bono and U2, Marco Solis, They wanted to make a statement that is Marco Antonio Solis in the back. I get threats like that a lot. Look at that. So I'm being stalked, and I'm at give the address. I'll be right back. And they don't want. I don't. They try to get Bobby out because his reaction. So stay calm. Shout out to Johnny Depp. Not by yourself, and don't bite. I'm okay. So I'll be right back. They want to keep isolating us, and we need to report Donald Trump and Rand Paul, their most current perpetrators of crimes against humanity right now. And Aerosmith is definitely at the top of the list. They've been perpetrating hate crimes to us on us for a while now. And they are kin to Donald Trump. I'll be right back.